Hello everyone, I am Keyshawn. I will be talking about my 23andMe test results. I'll be talking about who takes these tests and why. Well, in September of 2015, I was blessed to get a 23andMe test kit. And on November 4th of 2015, I received my 23andMe test results through their website. The type of test that I took was called an autosomal DNA test. Autosomal DNA is the term used in genetic genealogy to describe DNA which is inherited from the autosomal chromosomes. Humans normally have 23 pairs of chromosomes. You get these chromosomes from your parents. Now, in autosomal DNA testing, they only look at 22 of the 23 pairs of chromosomes because the 23rd pair of chromosomes just determines the individual's gender. For example, a woman would get two X's. One X comes from the mother, one X comes from the father. A male, on the other hand, would get an X from his mother and a Y chromosome from his father. So let me explain something to you. Autosomal DNA testing has really exploded. I think it has been around about 10 or 12 years. And also, it's an extended DNA test. So what this test does, it is taking you back about 300 years in your DNA. So you're getting DNA from your mother, your father, your grandparents, your great grandparents, and your great great grandparents. So you're getting DNA from all these folks. So let me tell you about the reasons why some people take these tests. Some people are taking these tests to determine their admixture. They simply want to know what they're mixed with. Some people simply want to know how much African, how much European, how much Russian, how much Jewish that they have in them. So basically, they just want to know. And also, some people are taking these tests to determine if they are Native American as well. Because sometimes people are told that they are one thing and they later on found out that they're something else. Well, let me tell you guys, when I got my test results, I was not surprised. Because, African Americans in this country, you're not going to find a 100% African American person. You're not. The only way you're going to find somebody that's 100% African, they just got off the plane from Africa. So I knew that I was going to have a lot of African and I was going to have some European because I heard my mother talk about her grandmother and how fair skinned she was. So I already knew that was going to be that was going to be found in my test results. So I was not surprised at all. Now, let me tell you something. Sometimes we look at people's skin complexion and we try to determine how much, African they have in them. Sometimes that is kind of deceiving because I've heard of some people test results who were much lighter than I am, and they had more African than what I have. So let me finish explaining to you guys what kind of people take these tests. You also have people who have been adopted. In a closed adoption, court records and adoption records are sealed. And some people take these tests in hopes of finding their biological family and to get some admixture results. You also have children of Vietnam vets. Their father came over during the war and impregnated their Asian mothers, and they want to know who their father is. You also have children of sperm donors. Now, I personally think it's wrong for anybody to go to a sperm bank and get sperm because you know what? You're not going to be able to tell that child who their father is. You may be able to tell them some information that they provided to the sperm bank, but you're going to leave this child wondering, who am I? And also, you have some situations where there may be someone who don't know their father, who may be in such search of their father's family, who might want to take this test in hopes of finding a biological family. So I just gave you guys the reasons why people take these tests. And you have some people who are simply just doing genealogy. Genealogy is a record or table of the descent of a person's family or group. So the field of genealogy has really exploded. And some people are taking these tests, trying to basically just do their family tree, learn more about where they come from. Because the average American can only go back like 3 to 4 generations. Most people know who their mother is, who their father, grandparents, and great grandparents. And there are situations where there may be people who are missing from their family tree. You hear stories where Somebody may have disappeared and nobody know what happened to them or their children, so they may be looking for that too. And also too, you have a lot of African Americans. We really don't know a lot about our ancestors, and we are looking to try to find out who our ancestors was, because during slavery they did not list black people's names in property records. You were considered a piece of furniture or a chicken or something. They might have 20-year-old male, 50-year-old black woman listed in slave records. They did not list people's names or anything. So a lot of people are doing this because of the 1870 brick wall. A lot of that's when they started listing black people on the census. So a lot of people are really in search of that kind of information too. So guys, I'm going to give you my admixture results because a lot of people seem to be, hooked on it. And I think 23andMe is a good company. And the reason why I say that, because they give you a lot of information. They also give you health reports. They also can tell you if you carry sickle cell, Tay-Sachs disease, if you have variants from both parents. They can give you that kind of information too. There's stuff where they can tell you if you can smell asparagus in your pee. I've never even heard of anything like that, but they give you a lot of information about your health and things like that. So that's why I think it's a good company. Okay, here are my results. I am 83.2 sub-Saharan African. So they broke these groups down into West African 76.1, Central and South African is 3.9, broadly sub-Saharan African is 3.3, European is broken down to different groups. I am 15.3% European. So that's broken down into Northwest Europe, 9.4, British and Irish, 4.6, Scandinavian, 0.5, broadly Northwestern Europeans, 4.3, South European is 2.5, Iberian is 0.1, broadly Southern European is 2.5, broadly European is 3.3. So for the Native American, you know how we black folks are always obsessed with the Native American. Every black person you talk to, most people, black people seem to think they have some Native American. So, well, let me give you that. I am 0.5. Southeast Asian 0.2. Broadly East Asian and Native American 0.3. South Asian is 0.1. Unassigned is 0.6. So guys, there you have it. And also 23andMe also gave me my maternal line. Now your maternal line is passed from your mother, from your grandmother to your mother, and so on. So that's the DNA that's inside of the mitochondrial DNA of your cell that's passed from mother to child unchanged. So my maternal line is L2C3. So anybody that's related to me on the maternal side, that is your maternal line. So that was passed from mother to child unchanged. Unfortunately, they cannot give me my paternal line because I am a female and I have 2 X chromosomes. So these tests cannot differentiate which X is from the mother and which X is from the father. Now, the only way that can happen if I was to have a male from my direct paternal line to test. But unfortunately, my father is deceased. His brothers are deceased. And his brothers did not have any male children. So my father is the only one that has a son that is currently alive. And also, men have an advantage with these tests. They get their maternal line and their paternal line because they have the X chromosome from the mother and the Y. So men that take 23andMe test does have a bit of advantage over the women. And also, I want to talk about something that a lot of people don't talk about with these tests. When you are taking these tests, you are opening up Pandora's box. Sometimes people have found out stuff that they did not know. Some people have discovered that they were related to someone that they had no idea. You've had people that found out that they were not related in the way that they were originally told. And also you do have, a lot of Caucasian people are finding out that they have some African in them as well, and they are very shocked about that. And also, you've had people that found out that they have had siblings, they have siblings, excuse me, that they had no idea. Maybe their father stepped out on their mother and they had simply no idea, or maybe their mother had put up a child for adoption that they knew nothing about. So you had some situations like that. Now with 23andMe, they do give you DNA matches, and they only give you DNA matches for people who have only taken these tests. And also, there is a side, something that can happen. You know, I haven't heard any horror stories. I had people to tell me, girl, you talking to them crazy people. That's scary. Well, it's not scary because these are your DNA relatives. So I haven't heard of anybody being murdered or being harmed by one of their DNA matches. I have not heard anything like that. And also, too, you have, you know, the worst thing that can happen is that you can be rejected by a DNA relative. For example, you have had adopted people who have taken these tests and have found a high match, and they wanted to talk to the person to try to find out who their biological family was, and the person did not want to be bothered. So you do have some situations like that. Now, 23andMe is not the only company doing this. You have Ancestry.com. You have National Geographics. They have their own test. You have a lot of companies that are doing this now. You also have Family Tree DNA that is doing this as well. And also, they do give you what's called raw data. You can download that raw data to your computer. That's information about your chromosomes. You can upload it to other DNA websites. For example, I'm also on GEDmatch. GEDmatch is a secondary website that a lot of people go to when they do these tests, because they're trying to compare their admixture results, and also they're trying to find other DNA relatives from other companies. So I am listed on GEDmatch and DNA Land. I think it's a very interesting thing to do. I think it's very cool. And I don't find anything wrong with trying to get to know your family and trying to find out where you come from, because you've had some people that don't know anything about their family. Now, I have spoken to some of my DNA matches. I have spoken to like high matches, like people that were third cousins or something like that. I haven't, well, I do have one real high match, but that's my cousin on my mother's side. She took this test because she was only interested in admixture results. She's not interested in finding any relatives or anything like that. So people do these tests for different reasons. I think it's a very cool thing to do. I love it. And so, well, that's all I have for you folks. God bless.